Okay, a message, a video, communication for all the fathers and mothers, wherever it's applicable. For the benefit of your parenting experience, which will last the rest of your life if you've got children, and for the well-being, the mental, emotional growth and well-being of your children. It's about you as well, and this will help in your relationship with life. So, being a father and wanting to share, because in the law, see, I don't particularly take sides. I'm a father, but I've been a single parent for 11 years. I understand the way that women work, the perception, the feminine behaviours, the behaviours that are perceived to be feminine, but also I'm a manly man and I understand both sides. So I don't particularly take sides. And the way that I've been successful as a parent, and I get that feedback from the children, you don't decide whether you're a good parent or not. In the years to come, your children will tell you whether you've been a good parent. Right? Not your friends, not magazines, not TV shows. Your children in time to come will tell you if you've raised honest, straight talking, emotionally intelligent and aware children, they will tell you honestly. If you've made them feel emotionally guilty for your existence, they're probably going to tell you you've been a decent parent even if you weren't, because they don't want to make you feel bad, because they know what it feels like to feel bad because you made them feel bad when they were young and you emotionally manipulated them. So if you raise some honest kids, you're going to get some honest feedback. And the way that you do that, the way that you be a good father, the way that you be a good mother, the way that you be a good parent, right, is by not taking sides, by not fighting for control in the relationship of being a parent, right? And by thinking about what's best for your children and not best, what's just best for you. You do that by understanding behaviour. I'm going to give you some really simple things to watch out for, that when you hear them you think, well, yeah, that makes sense, right? You don't always do them because the emotional situation blocks your intelligent pathways. So you don't tend to think straight when you're upset, when you're angry. If you're in a debate, an argument. A debate's a controlled combination of your intelligence and your emotions, right? Passion, something you're passionate about. That's the balance between your emotion and your intelligence. An argument is just emotional. Clinical is just intelligence. Process. You might think, oh, don't get all clever on us, I thought you were going to be simple. Alright, here's a simple thing. Let's do the relationship between two people. If you're on your own, you see, it's no problem. You do what you want, when you want. You give people your honest answer. But when you come into contact with somebody else, you think, how am I being perceived? And also then there's the relationship. So something to be perceived about is be honest. One of the biggest reasons a relationship fails, and you end up like passing ships, right? Because you're not honest with each other. So you end up sailing in different directions, even though they're sharing the same water. Is people aren't honest with the direction they want to go. So two ships that were sailing together end up gradually and apart, right? And that ends up in breaking the relationship, which is not a bad thing. If you both want different things, don't feel bad about sailing in different directions. This is where honesty, and this is why people who've been in a relationship can still communicate positively and still get on with each other. It's because they've been honest. Saying, well, you want this and I want this, it's different, like, it's been nice, you know? And whether you're on your own or whether you've got children, you working together and being honest gives an absolutely awesome message to your children that actually that's the way to deal with relationships. The problems come when there's a fight over control. Somebody is sailing in this direction and somebody else is going in that direction, or they perceive they are. So what they do is they try and take control of the steering wheel and try and make them stay with them on their path. That's any relationship where there's a fight for control, right? Whether it's partner, work, children, right? That's your basic fight for control. You're trying to make somebody else do what you want them to do. So be honest about what you want, how you want it, where you want to do your experience of life, and if it's different than somebody else, then it's just different. If you look at the laws and you look at society, the perception is that it's tougher for men, right, in relationships than it is with women. The law actually sides with women, and I'm not just saying that, there's evidence of that. Actually, in UK law, right, the father, if you read the law as it's stated, although there is only your own law, right, you have to decide what's right and wrong in your life. But under the UK regulated law, it says that the mother gets automatic parental responsibility, and the father doesn't get automatic, which is silly, really, because it takes two to tango. And also, the social thing is that it's, you know, well, if the father leaves the relationship, it's like, well, that's what happens. And the mother sort of stays, well, it's not. And, you know, sort of first-hand evidence of that. And that's not, you know, there's differences. So the perception at this point we're at in time is that the law and socially is not kind to men, right, as it is to women. So that's the sort of written law by people who are trying to govern the social thing. Whereas actually, like I said, there's only really one law, and that's your law. You have to decide for yourself what's right and wrong, and you stick for that by being honest with yourself. Relationships. Here's the deal, right? Because if somebody tries to play you, yeah, I'm going to give you a couple of things that are going to be really easy to spot. You need to spot them really early and be honest with yourself about the direction of your ship with other people's ships, right? If somebody shouts at you, if somebody gets aggressive with you, they are not your friend. They are not wanting to sail calm waters alongside your ship. They want to create a storm. They want to rock your boat so that you'll jump onto their ship. where they then control your direction. Or they want to create a storm and say, I know the way out of this storm, follow me. Again, it's about control. So in a relationship, and this is why I don't take sides, because you get men who shout, you get women who shout, right? Both can have aggressive behaviour. It shows itself in different ways, right? Men tend to be a little bit more reactive, quick to react, right? And have some sort of bigger reactions, depending on your experience and your personality, right? Aggression from women can be a little bit more controlled and thought about, right? Sometimes take a little bit, that's really annoyed me, I'm going to think about how to get you back, right? Whereas men's, it's a bit like, whoa, right? It's a bit more fire, right? It's different, right? But the behaviour, the word, is still aggressive. So people who shout at you, they're not looking to be your friend. They're not looking to save your ship. Sometimes it's a defence mechanism and there's underlying issues, but that needs the right sort of support, right? From people who know how to deal with that. But the simple thing is, right, if somebody in a relationship shouts at you or is aggressive with you, they're not looking to help you, right? In a relationship, and that's also with parenting, you don't shout at your kids, right? You don't be aggressive, because the thing that they do remember as they're growing up, it stays with them, right, for the rest of their days, right? So that's one of the simples on relationships. All right, good morning, son. It's a fight for control. It's the simplest thing that I can tell you. If somebody makes you feel bad, they don't really know you that well, and that's maybe because you've not been honest with them. Now, in a relationship where there's children involved, and there's only a fight for control in the relationship, but also there's a perception that whoever's got the kids has got some real way. So, and that's a real danger, because in a relationship, then you're using the children as a bargaining tool, as a weapon, and you hear a lot about custody and visiting rights, right? And I've seen this from my own parents, and also with research as well. And it's like they're used to point scoring, and the children remember that in time to come, and it will affect your relationship, right? Whoever stays, but both should stay. You should play as positive a part, right, in your child's experience of life and upbringing as possible, right? And if you don't want somebody else to be part of your children's life, it shows that you're trying to control. You're trying to keep something away, and you don't know whether it's going to be a positive experience for your children. There's value from all perceptions. People who just want to be the controller want only their perception to be relayed. And you'll know. You know your situation. You know whether you're the parent who's got the kids, right, and who's using the situation and sort of this manipulation going on, right? You know if you're doing that. Even if you say, no, that's not why I'm doing that, I'm doing it for the benefit of the children. Well, you're only lying to yourself if that's the case. and that shows itself in your own personal health, right? And will in your mental, emotional, and your physical health, because that's how this place works. If you're the person, the parent who's been told to stay away or there's restrictions, right, then that's pretty much just to make you feel bad, right, about not being there. And what I want to say to you, if you're in that position, is try not to worry about it, because in the time and the perception of time and the life of your children, once they get a bit older, they'll see what the situation is, and they understand, because the perception of a child is honest, because they've not got as many layers laid on them in experience. Hexes, I'm not going to get into witches and wizards and Adam and Eve. In fact, why not, eh? Let's touch on that. So, I'm going to keep it simple. But Adam is they made him mad. And Eve is the energy vampire. So just remember that. Eve. Right? And that's what people do. Think of it like that if you want. Anybody who tries to make you react, right? Think about a nuclear reactor, right? Produces energy. You need to keep control of your energy, right? This is your energy station. Anybody who tries to get you to react, I want you to empty your energy so that they can collect it. Think about it like that. The energy vampire, Eve, made, which is an anagram of Adam, is a game, EA, sport, a sport. And that's enough of that. Watch my other videos if you want. So this one is about parents and people in relationships. Somebody shouts at you, not your friend. Think about where you want your ship to go. If you don't feel comfortable in a relationship, leave. But leave the relationship, don't leave the people. That's the difference, right? You can still be in constant communication, right? Positives in parenting into somebody else's experience without being in a particularly perceived relationship, right? Be honest. Learn to be honest with yourself. Be honest with other people. If you don't see people as much because of your honesty, it's not a bad thing, right? You will find the people who you're meant to be with quicker if you're being honest. Okay, if you're in a relationship with somebody who shouts, tries to control, right, is aggressive in different ways, then put distance, put some decent water between you. You can still see their ship. You can visit it whenever you want. If you allow somebody else to control you, you'll regret it in time to come because you won't find your destination. Right. That's enough for the video. I'm going to give you some other diagrams. It could have been a 2-minute video. I could have just said, listen, if somebody shouts at you, they're not your friend, right? Stay away. People are just trying to control you and take your energy. And they know what buttons to press because they learn about them and watch, especially in a relationship, right? So if somebody says something, then you react. You need to really take some time to understand your own reactions, because you're just being played. how to control your emotions, use your intelligence, and know who is good to be around, right? And you'll have a positive relationship. And if you're a father, if you're a mother, that's going to have really awesome results for your children. It really is. You're the first point of their learning. They learn how to regulate at home with the people that they're familiar with, so family. This one, people that are familiar with behaviour that you're familiar with. So familiarise yourself with yourself and give a positive message, right? Give a good message to your children and the people you're in relationships, and your relationships will just get better, and so will your experience in life.